Hey, it's Dave and Wanda from WGRC, and we are at the Fitness Factory in Williamsport. This is the first time that for Around the Valley we visited a gym.
I'm so excited. I love walking into a gym. It feels like home. I love the smells of the gym, the sounds of the gym, the music, the weights moving around. But it's not just your ordinary gym. They also have a Bible study that was birthed out of the gym. So it's like a place where they disciple as well. So I'm excited to see what it's all about.
Yeah, and I've always been loosely in the fitness as a runner. I know I could have been into it more. So I'm excited to see what I can learn here, what they teach. And, you know, we always have hands-on at these places. So I'm kind of waiting to see what's going to happen in here. But hey, you know, if I can bulk up a little bit, oh yeah.
I want to caution you.
Okay.
It normally takes about a month until you begin to see results. So
okay.
Just don't expect to come in, do one workout and see a major difference. I just want to make sure that your expectations
when
are
I accept something, I go all out. So we're going to see what happens in about an hour or so. I bet you're going to see a big difference.
We'll see about that.
All right. Well, let's go find Ryan and Jody.
Expectations too high.
All right. We're going to check. I bet they can do something.
WGRC's Around the Valley is sponsored by Zook Septic Services, serving central Pennsylvania. Contact them for inspections, repairs, and system maintenance needs at 570-837-1466 or at zookseptic.com.
Well, we've made it inside the Fitness Factory here in Williamsport, and we've met up with the owners, Ryan and Jody, and thank you for having us come in.
Absolutely, thank you for being here.
This is, I think this is our fifth season doing Around the Valley. This is the first gym that we've made it into.
Which is exciting, and I got to tell you, I told you before, but walking in here, I was blown away. I've heard so much about it, but you have so much more than I thought you would. And it's beautiful and it's clean. I got to give you props on that because that's a big one. You don't always see that coming into gyms, but it's amazing. You guys are
we have really great employees too. They're really on top of it. They love this place like we love this place.
I can see that.
Well, we're excited to find out a little bit more about what you do here. We know it's not just a business to get people in shape, but you also use it as a ministry. So we're looking forward to hearing that story. But I have to say, on a personal note, I'm built like a runner.
You serious?
That's what I do, but I can still tone up and stuff. So I'm going to see if I can learn anything and see if you can make a transformation in me in, I don't know, an hour or so. We're going to see what happens.
All right. You're up for the challenge?
I'm up for it. Let's do it.
I don't know. That's expecting a lot, Dave. I know.
Well, before we dive into some exercises and some plans, we already know in advance that you walk people through something specific for them. And so we're going to dive into that. But first of all, tell us about the ministry aspect. How did you get into this and how did it become a ministry for you?
Okay, well, to be honest with you, so I've been coming to this gym since about 2000. I've always worked out here. And with along the roads as my Christianity started to increase, I would come to the gym and I would talk about it. So when I was working out with other guys, I'd be talking to them about what I was learning. And I noticed a lot of other people around me were actually listening to what I was talking about, even to the point where they would ask me questions. I was really new into my faith, so a lot of times I didn't know the answers. So I'd always go back to my pastor and be like, hey, what about this and what about that? And I'd always be, question him on, to get the answers so I can kind of tell these guys, what the answer was, or, what to look for. So I noticed that like this was my place to be like a discipleship field. And one day I was sitting in a sermon and my pastor said, if you pass away and you're sitting with Jesus and he tells you everything that he's done for you, and he turns and he asks you like, what have you done for me? What are you going to say? Ooh. And it hit real hard. And I was like, man, I don't know what, I got nothing. It's always been about, can you help me do this? Can you do this? All this stuff. I've never done anything really to honor God completely. So the next sermon was about discipleship. So I was like, okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to become the best disciple that I can. So I noticed that, like I said, when I was in the gym, that was where I could speak and be heard the most. So through that experience, started to grab some people that while I was in the training phase of just training people, not only in the gym, started taking some people to church and things like that. But then COVID came along.
Oh man!
And I was working for a company, and because of COVID, I had lost my job. So during that time, I became a full-time trainer. And as I was doing that, the opportunity at the gym came up and to purchase it. And I jumped on it, and I realized that when I was doing it, like the whole goal would be to make it my discipleshiip field.
Wow.
So
it's unique. It's a unique discipleship field. You don't hear that often.
It's pretty cool, but there's a lot of I also do bodybuilding, and there's a lot of strong Christians in bodybuilding. One place that I compete at is in Allentown.
Okay.
And Craig Johnson holds the show there, and that was another thing that brought me just a little bit more aware. Like he even does a prayer before the show, and a lot of bodybuilders all together pray before the show, just to watch over us as we compete. So it's there is a lot of Christianity in the gym, believe it or not. Yeah. So when I did that, though, I made basically a kind of a promise to God that I would start a Bible study, at the gym, so that we could reach out to people that weren't necessarily church-going people, because there are so many stipulations on this person did that, or they're just trying to take your money, all these other sort of things. So I thought it'd be a great way to be a non-threatening kind of vibe to somebody who has a totally different perspective or maybe hobby, if you want to say. Because like you said, there is the other side. There's some strong Christians, but the other side that are just, they're never around it. They don't care to be, or they have, interest, but they heard too many bad stories.
Yeah.
So I thought it would be great to, do a Bible study here. And, I talked to my pastor about it, and he said, fantastic. I think it's a great idea. And shortly after we opened, and everything seemed to be going extremely wrong, and I had zero time to sleep, my pastor, Steve Cutter, came up to me and said, "Are you ready to start the Bible study?" And my wife was standing aside of me, and she's like, "He's only sleeping 2 to 4 hours a night, if that. I don't see how it's possible." I said, "Yes.
Wow.
Let's do
We
this."
had a conversation later. I'm like, "What are you thinking? I don't see you. You're sleeping at the gym. You're not sleeping." And he's like, "I told God I was going to do it, so I have to do it, and I do it now."
But I figured if I denied that opportunity at that point in time, I may as well shut the doors.
I'm so proud of him. It's so weird. I'm like, I've been with this guy 22 years. I didn't even know you had this in you. So I knew you're so passionate about it.
Yeah.
But to see everything just transform, I'm just in awe of what he's done.
Yeah.
So I'm so happy to be a
really
part of it now, and to listen to God and step out in faith. 3 months ago, quit my job at 12 years, and now I'm here with him. I just feel like
Working
I have
together.
a purpose, and I just feel complete. And I'm so excited to just keep moving forward with him, and even in our relationship with Jesus. So it's just been, he's an amazing man. I think him every morning, God every morning for him. So.
Aww.
Ready? All right. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right. So we're gonna go through an exercise. This is an isolap pull down. This is one of my favorite machines, and we're gonna give you a try on it. All right. So we got a little bit of weight here first. Good. You grab up top here. Bring your feet in front of that pad on the bottom. Sit in. When you take this, we're just one at a time. You're just going to bring it down and you're going to squeeze. Let it come up, come back down, and squeeze. All right? You do that. All right, scoot in, bring your body in, good. Then bring this all the way up to the top. Stretch it all out. Now when you pull down, go ahead and pull. You're going to twist like this. You squeeze that in. Just feel it right here in the lat where you pull it. Go ahead. Good. Give me 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure you get that twist. 5. Whoop. Right here. Go ahead. Good. 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's equal out the other side. Give me 1 second. I'll switch the weight. 3.
So what exactly is this working on again?
4. It's working your lat muscle right here on your back, and you're pulling it down. 5. 6. 7. 8. 4 more. 1. 2. 2 more. 2 more. Yep. 2 more. Good. And now get it. There you go. All right. Cool.
You know, that sounded like when I was in boot camp, where they drop and all of a sudden the number changed. So how many you did?
In 2018, after I stopped drinking, I started here. Just started working out for my health, for my well-being, I guess, for my mental capacity more than anything. And then in 22, at the end of 22, I went through separation, which ended in a divorce. And I was really worried I was going to go back to drinking. So at that time, we had the pastor of the church that we go to was a member here, and I just asked to talk to him, and that kind of what started journey back to my salvation or my reclamation. In 1999, I had a son who was born, and in 99, he passed.
Wow.
Then in 2000, my second son was born. He could have had the same genetic disorder that my first son had.
Yeah.
So we kind of struggled through that during the pregnancy. He was born 6 months to the day of my first son's passing.
Yeah.
In 2001, both my parents died.
Wow.
So it was quite a 4-year span.
It's a lot of loss.
Yeah, and growing up, I grew up in the church. I was an acolyte at church. I went to, we did everything in the church. And I I lost my faith after my parents died. Because everything, it wasn't like I couldn't get caught up. I couldn't grieve what was going on. I would start to grieve and then something else would happen. So I just kind of lost my faith because I was like, why does this keep happening? God keeps doing this to me.
Yeah.
So for the next 17, 18, 20 years, 21 years. Actually, it was 23 when I came back. So it would have been 22 years from the time my parents passed. I abandoned God. I was mad at because I couldn't come up with a reason. And in 23, February 23, I started going to Bible study. And that's what she was talking about. Jody was talking about earlier, how then in the summer I was rebaptized. So that would, in a nutshell, I just kind of kept compounding stuff for 20 plus years.
It's a long time. Yeah.
And I never gave myself a chance to heal. And along the way, over the last 2 years since I started in the Bible study, I've learned a lot. And the one thing that I did learn is that God answered my prayer when I asked him to make my son healthy. It just took me a long time, and in death he was.
It's not the way you expected or wanted.
Yeah, and that goes to the whole thing that sometimes our prayers are always answered. They're just not answered the way we want them or the way we expect them to be answered. But he answered it, and I'm sure that my son is healthy now.
There you go. There you go.
I got a glimpse of one of their stories about how they had just didn't want anything to do with God. And so I can't wait to see and hear about how and what drew him back to the Lord. So